Give it up for India's leading business coach, Rajiv Talreja.
When you fulfill the need, people will fulfill your pockets.
Just because you don't know does not mean it is not possible.
Hello everyone, welcome to yet another Facebook Live with me Rajiv Talreja, and I'm excited today because we're in the season of Diwali, the festival of wealth and prosperity. So I'm happy to do this conversation with those of you who are going to come on live today, irrespective of it being a Diwali holiday, on the difference between income generation and wealth creation. So before we get started, we'll wait for some more people to join in. In the meanwhile, share with me, how did your Diwali go? So those of you live, just type out, what did you do this Diwali festival with your family? How did the festival go for you? Personally, for me, Diwali is a very, very important, a very, very special festival. It's something that is very, very close to my heart because it's the time where we come together as a family. We take time off to make sure that we meet and greet our loved ones. We do a Diwali puja in office. So it's that time of the year that I really look forward to. It's just about coming together, having fun together. So the week goes on in Diwali celebrations. That's the way we do it in my place. So would like to know from you, how was Diwali for each and every one of you before we get started into today's agenda, which is the difference between income generation and wealth creation when it comes to using business as a vehicle. How do you use it? Do you use it for generating income or generating wealth? So before we go there, type in, how was your Diwali? So hi Umesh, hi Srinivas Sharma. Wish you guys a very, very happy Diwali. Glad you could make it. Ramakrishna Reddy says, it was nice, had a puja in office and home. It was a nice day. Rohan Kapoor, had fun with friends. Did you play cards, Rohan? Yeah, that's another thing here in our culture, right? We play cards and it's good fun. Okay. Pushpaj, had a good Diwali, amazing. Hi Manish, nice to have you here. So we'll dive into the conversation in a couple of minutes. Okay. Hello Satish, nice to have you on the Facebook Live. Happy Diwali to you, to Manish. Hello Safina, how are you? Thank you Deepak. Yes, it's the new office space, so it's been quite a journey. I mean, some of you would have read the post that I shared on Facebook about how our journey was, where we started in 2006. We started from working out of the rocks of Kaban Park, and I remember by 7 p.m. the cops used to come and chase us out because they used to think, what is this group of guys doing sitting out of the rocks here in Kaban Park? So yep, this new office space is something that we are very, very proud of, and it's a very fulfilling feeling to be able to reach this space and create an environment where people love to come to work. I mean, that's all that we all want, right? Yeah, thank you so much, Shesh, for the Diwali greetings as well as for the inspiring office place comment. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get started. I have 60 more seconds before we get started into today's topic, so we wait for people to come in. Hi Shikha, happy Diwali to you too. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about a topic that's very close to my heart because at the end of the day, as entrepreneurs, the desire for all of us is to make sure that we grow our business, make it reach a certain scale where it can touch the lives of multiple people, and at the same time make good amount of money for us so that we can live our dreams. So today's conversation of the difference between income generation and wealth creation is something that I feel is very, very important for every entrepreneur to understand because that changes the method, the mannerism in which you would build your business. Okay, so let's get started with today's conversation, the difference between income generation and wealth creation in business. Now, here's something that I have noticed working with thousands of entrepreneurs. One of the things that I see is that every business goes through certain stages. You know, when you get started, you have a product or service idea in your mind, but you're not really clear whether it's going to be accepted in the same form that you're going out there and offering it to your customers. So you start your business with a product or service idea, and as you go out there in the market, what you see is when you're a new fresh business, you have to modify your offering based on what your customer wants. And what I've noticed is that for the first for the first year or a couple of years in some cases, a business is still figuring out, while it's in business, the business is still figuring out what works, what is the customer buying, what is the customer resonating with. And that's the stage where the entrepreneur is very flexible in whatever we are offering. We are pretty much doing anything and everything that the customer asks us to do, which is related to our line of products or services. I'm sure some of you would have had that kind of experience. I had that kind of an experience. When I started as a trainer and a coach, I would do any kind of trainings, any kind of modules that my clients would ask me for. Or when I start my events business, I would do any kind of events, social events, to corporate events, to family events. So in the initial stages of a business, you're just trying to get your hands dirty, you're trying to get as many customers as possible. So that's the stage where most business owners are struggling to make ends meet, and they're constantly reinvesting in their business. Now, what do I mean by constantly reinvesting in their business? Even not drawing a salary for yourself is investing in your business. So I call this stage as the struggle stage, and I typically see businesses spend about a year or a couple of years in this stage of struggle, where the business owner is still figuring out what works, what does not work. Then comes a very interesting stage. From struggle, most businesses die in struggle stage, and they shut their business down and they exit the idea of becoming an entrepreneur. And some survive and move to a stage called survival. Now, this is typically the stage where the only thing that the business owner is focused on is financial planning. The only thing that the business owner is thinking is, where will the money come from, and when it comes, where does it have to go? So the survival stage is a typical stage where everything is hand to mouth. And this is the stage where the only priority of an entrepreneur is generating enough funds to make sure that you're meeting your expenses, to make sure that you're paying your salaries on time, your rent on time, your EMI on time, and you're taking some money back home. And that's why it's called the survival stage, because the only focus of the business is to survive. Now, in all honesty, most small and medium business owners live in the survival stage for the rest of their lives. Some transition out of this stage and move to stability. Okay? And even those who transition out and move to the stage of stability, they move to the stage of stability when they have a workable business model, and they are making sure that every single function in the business is functioning. Now, if you're wondering what does every single function in the business functioning mean, what you need to understand is, for a business to be able to produce results consistently, marketing needs to happen consistently, sales has to happen consistently, operations has to be optimized fully, accounts has to happen consistently, new products and new services have to be created on a timely basis, management of the business has to happen. So what you need to understand is that for a business to be stable, all these activities need to happen consistently and simultaneously. Most businesses are stuck in survival because these activities of marketing, sales, operations are not happening consistently. They are happening sequentially, or they're happening on a crisis basis. So that's the reason why most businesses are stuck in survival, where the entrepreneur is only thinking about sales and operations. They're not even marketing. They're not even doing anything to generate leads proactively. They're relying on word of mouth. Okay? The only thing that the entrepreneur is spending time on in the survival stage is sales and operations, which means the entrepreneur is either selling or taking care of customers who bought the products or services. So that's the survival stage. To move from survival to stability, the journey is about making sure that you have these functions functioning. And in the stability stage, what happens is that the entrepreneur himself or herself is responsible for managing the team, for building the team in different functions and departments, which is a lot of work for the entrepreneur. So the business reaches stability, which means the entrepreneur starts making money, but the entrepreneur is busy all the time. Everything in the business is dependent on the entrepreneur. So what I want you to understand is this: the struggle stage, the survival stage, and the stability stage at best can only earn you an income as a business owner. And most business owners at the maximum look at playing till the stage of stability, because to stabilize a business, probably it would take them 6, 8, 10 years sometimes to reach a stage where they're comfortably making good amount of money for themselves. And once they reach that stage, after 6 or 8 or 10 years of work, the brain is tired, and the brain says, you know what, now finally you're making good amount of money, you're taking 2 lakhs home, you're taking 3 lakhs home for yourself, life is good, don't be greedy, stabilize, just work with it till the end of your working life. That's the stage of stability. Now, what I tell entrepreneurs is this: business is not for income generation. Business is not a vehicle to take you to the path of income generation. If you want to generate income, then let me make life easier for you. If all you want is good amount of monthly expenses to be covered and a good monthly income for yourself to have a decent or a good standard of living, then you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to work this hard. It's better to get a job, because for your knowledge, your work ethic, your experience, anybody would be willing to pay you a 6-figure income. Okay? So you don't have to do business to generate an income. If you are doing business, you need to understand that the purpose of business is not income generation. The purpose of business is wealth creation. And most entrepreneurs miss this point. They don't understand or comprehend what is wealth creation. All they are focusing on, how can I increase my income? Okay? And wealth creation is very different from income generation. Wealth creation is possible only when you are scalable. Wealth creation is possible only when you can expand geographically or diversify your product portfolio and have a second line team and systems of competent people, second line department heads, if I were to call them, or leaders who can drive and scale your business to the next level. Because till the stage of survival, struggles or stability, everything is dependent on you, and all that you can do is increase your income. But if you want to create wealth, you got to focus on success and scale. Okay, you got to focus on success and scale. And when does a business achieve success? How do we define success in business? Well, you can define success in business when you're making massive profits and the dependency on the business owner is low, because the business owner has a second line team of leaders who are experts in their particular domain, which means you have a head of marketing, you have a head of sales, you have a head of operations. These are experts, these are leaders, not just managers. These are people who can take strategic decisions, can do innovation in these areas. That's when your business has reached a stage of success, because the dependency on the owner is going down. That's the stage of success. And scale is the stage where you're either preparing yourself to go for an IPO, or you're preparing yourself for a merger or an acquisition, or you're preparing yourself for massive geographical expansion to expand your reach and create footprints in different markets. So wealth creation is very different from income generation. And I know some entrepreneurs, or most entrepreneurs, are happy if they're making a good amount of money. If they're making a couple of lakhs a month for themselves net in their pocket, they feel life is good. But what you need to understand is, that's not the purpose of business. Okay, you can make a couple of lakhs a month by working in a job, okay, because of the capabilities you have, because of the knowledge and experience you have. Okay, your focus has to be on on wealth creation, not on income generation. Now, when I say this to entrepreneurs, some entrepreneurs tell me, but Rajiv, can I tell you the truth? I am not even generating an income for myself, leave alone thinking about wealth creation. I'm not even able to take money home consistently for myself. Well, then you have a bigger problem, my friend. You got to work on making sure that every single function in your business is functioning. You got to work on your business model, because it clearly means if you're not making money consistently in your business, it means your business model is flawed. Okay, so you got to work on the business model. That's a conversation for another day. But today I want to give you the distinction between income generation and wealth creation. It's a paradigm. You don't do business to generate a monthly income. You don't do business so that it can pay for your lifestyle. You do business to create wealth. And wealth for whom? Wealth for yourself, wealth for your team members, wealth for your customers. You do business to build a brand. That's the intention. Okay? That's how you structure your business model. That's how you structure your operations. That's how you structure your marketing, your sales, and you structure your organization structure for wealth creation. You don't structure it for achieving your monthly targets so that you can pay salaries on time or EMI on time. And this does not happen once you hit stability. Most entrepreneurs think that, you know what, first let me become stable, then we'll think about wealth creation. No. The reason you're not stable is because you built a self-employment model of sales and operations. Okay? You got to structure your business model right from the beginning for scale and work towards that scale. If you don't do that, you're going to be stuck in self-employment. And here's the beauty, you know, something that fascinates me all the time is how people reduce the size of their goals. You know, in India, culturally, when you start a business or when you're thinking about a career for yourself, we've been taught, okay, or we've been told, Karodpati is a milestone. Okay, those of you who are my friends internationally who are watching this video, Karodpati is basically where a person is making 10 million Indian rupees. Okay, so Crorepati is a milestone for us in India, right? To become a crorepati. And what does crorepati mean? Not 1 crore of turnover for your company, but means 1 crore of income for yourself. Now 1 crore of income for yourself means 8,67,000 rupees per month income for yourself. Now entrepreneurs start their business journey thinking, I want to be a crorepati, which means 8,67,000 rupees per month of income for myself. And then here's what happens. Reality sets in, life slaps you on the face. You realize your business model is not good enough to take you there. And instead of learning and changing the business model, what most people do is they say, I learned from my experience, I set unrealistic goals for myself, and they reduce the size of their dream from 8,67,000 rupees per month to probably making 80,000 rupees per month. And I know entrepreneurs who compromise to this reality of 80,000 rupees per month and say, at least my home is running in that much money, I don't have to be greedy. So please understand this, that this is not just a conversation about money, but it's a conversation of the scale of your business. What level can you take your business to? Okay, because if you're stuck in this month-to-month income generation battle, then you will only be focused on sales and operations. And if you're focused only on sales and operations, you can't build anything scalable. So the point I'm driving through today's Facebook Live with all of you is that if you're in business, focus on structuring your business model, your team, everything for scale, so that income generation is a byproduct. It happens by default. Play for wealth creation. That's why we do business. Does that make sense? Okay. And to do that, you got to go through a learning journey. You got to work on your business model. Like we work with at least 500 entrepreneurs across 5 different countries at any given point of time on a day-to-day basis, one-to-one. I have a team of business coaches that works out of my office, and these guys work with 500 entrepreneurs at any given point in time. And that's the first thing we're looking at. How do we make sure that the business is structured for scale? How do we make sure that the business model is scalable and profitable? And those of you who are tech startups, if you're a tech startup, listen to me carefully on this one. The problem I have with the entire tech startup space, with all these people wanting to become entrepreneurs because now entrepreneurship is like the latest fashion statement, is this. Most tech startups are creating for scale, but they don't have measure of profitability. I invest in businesses, and the first thing I ask an entrepreneur, especially a tech entrepreneur, is okay, what's the time we can start making money from the business? And most people give me some astronomical numbers saying we need to acquire these many customers, for that this is the amount of investment we need, and even then they're not able to define a point of profitability. So here's the thing, if you're a traditional business owner, focus on scale. Go beyond income generation, focus on wealth creation. If you're a tech startup, focus on profitability. Don't focus on scale, because your game of scale is never ending. Focus on profitability so that you know when will the income start coming in. Because I know some tech startup entrepreneurs are like martyrs. They are willing to sacrifice their entire life. Being a martyr is not, there's nothing heroic in being a martyr in business. Nothing heroic, let me tell you that. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to give all of you. Business is not a vehicle for income generation, it's a vehicle for wealth creation, which means you got to focus on success and stability. Don't get stuck in struggle, survival, success and scale. Don't get stuck in struggle, survival and stability. If you're stuck in struggle, survival or stability, it means you need to focus on your business model. And if you want to learn how to do that, reach out to me, reach out to my team. We are happy to help. We have thousands of entrepreneurs who attend our programs and learn from us. There's no harm if you feel that that's the need to invest in some learning. But if you're on your path of success and scale, great. Okay, so with that, that was what I wanted to share on this auspicious occasion of Diwali. Before I go off, I'm happy to answer any questions. So let me quickly scroll on the screen and see what are the kind of questions that we've got. Okay, so we've got a question from Neha. Hi, I'm Rajiv, amazing insight. My question is, people who themselves are a brand or are on the path, that path for them, it's income generation model or wealth creation. Well, Neha, there's no harm in building a business around a brand. Like my business is built around my face, around my brand, around my name. But the truth is this, my business is so scalable, it doesn't need me. Okay, it's very scalable, it doesn't need me. Okay, so some businesses are personality driven, okay, and you need to leverage the personality. At the same time, if it is dependent on the personality, then you're doomed. Then you're doomed. A lot of my seminars, my business breakthrough seminars, are done by people on my team. Okay, my corporate events, my events business is completely dissociated of me. Okay, from tomorrow up to the 9th of December, every single day there's an event happening in a city which my team is doing, and I'm not even associated with anything. So it's not necessary if the business is built around your brand that you're stuck in income generation. You can leverage that for wealth creation. So that's a personality style and a business style that has to marry each other. But what's critical is the business model, where it should be able to work without you so that you can scale it, and that's when you can create wealth. I hope that answered your question, Neha. Okay. Srinivasalu says, yes, now I got clarity between revenue and wealth creation. Thank you, Srinivasalu. Juliana. So Juliana says, wow, are you saying to skip the stability stage and leapfrog from struggle to scale? I am saying, Juliana, that structure the business for scale. You will hit stability, but that stability is not something that you will stay in for long. The challenge comes if you don't structure your business for scale right from the beginning, then you get used to the income generation game and you find it very difficult to let go of that monthly income that has to come in and everything is dependent on you. So I'm saying structure it, you will go through a stage of stability, but there's no harm in that stage. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, Juliana. Vishal, I'm at 37 now. Am I too late to start my own business? Not at all, Vishal. It's never too late. It's never too early. Okay, let me give you a practical example. One of the people I interviewed for my book was this gentleman by the name Ashok Soota. Now, let me give you a background of Ashok Soota. Ashok Soota was the CEO of Wipro Systems, and he took Wipro from 2 million to 200 million as the CEO of Wipro Systems. Now, he moved out of Wipro, okay? He moved out of Wipro and started his own company called Mindtree. Okay, you would have heard of Mindtree. He took Mindtree to a successful IPO. At the age of 68, Ashok Soota moved out of Mindtree. Okay, and most people at 68 decide or think about retirement. At the age of 68, he moved out of Mindtree and started another business called Happiest Minds Technologies and took it to become India's fastest company to reach $100 million. So if 68 is not late, 37, well, because Vishal, you're just born. Happy birthday. Just get started. Okay. All right. Shikha says, wow, eye-opener, still more knowledge on it. Do you have any write-up on this? Well, Shikha, I don't really have a write-up on this because this is something we work on a one-to-one level with businesses to scale them up. So if that's something that you want to explore, just reach out and we'll probably chat offline. Syed, okay, Syed is a life coach and a counselor. Syed, I see you in every Facebook live, so I know who you are, okay. How can I make it to a wealth creation game? Well, Syed, what you're asking for right now is customized coaching. I charge for that, my friend, but let me give you an answer, don't worry. So, what I want you to understand, Syed, is that even though you're a life coach or a counselor, you got to look at how can you go one-to-many. If you're very one-to-one, you got to look at how can you have other life coaches and counselors doing the one-to-one piece while you're building the business, okay? Or if you're too passionate about doing it yourself one-to-one, well, then everything else around it has to be taken care of by someone else, and you can't restrict yourself then just to life coaching and counseling services, because services have a limitation. Then it is based on the number of people who can service, can your business grow. So you may have to look at some kind of products in the space of life coaching and counseling, okay, which can make your business scalable. So there's a lot you need to explore from the point of view of firstly your business model itself based on your target segment. So you got to keep that in mind. Because as life coaches and counselors, sometimes we're talking to the wrong people. We're talking to people with the problems but not with the money. Then you're a good social service person, which is fine, which is okay to be. Okay, but if your ambition is to create something scalable, then you got to build your brand, you got to build your product line, you got to build your team structure, you got to create a business model that's scalable. You got to do all of these things for you to even pursue the path of wealth creation, Syed. Okay, Pankaj, when is your next space program in Hyderabad? Pankaj, I'm going to come to Hyderabad after at least another 16 to 18 more months because my calendar is packed. But I would say don't wait for me to come to Hyderabad. People from all over the world travel to different places to attend my program now. So you're most welcome. I'm doing a program now in Colombo, in Sri Lanka in the first week of December, or I'm doing one in the third week of December in Kolkata. So if you want to get details, just message me offline and I'll give you the details. Fly and learn. That's the best thing you can do. Shekhar Sharma, can you give some tips for getting funding? Shekhar, too vague a question. If you can make a question a little more specific in terms of telling me what is the challenge you're facing in raising funding, then I can answer that. So I'll be happy to answer that question. If Shekhar, you can make it more specific, because tips on getting funding, well, I can then give you some gyan. If I have to give you on funding, which I don't like to give, like I can give you gyan, like make sure that you have a proof of concept, make sure that you've proven your business model, make sure that you've proven that there is a customer who's willing to spend money on the product or service. This is the regular stuff, but I like to do things more customized and bespoke, like we work one-to-one. So ask me a more specific question so I can answer that. Arun Kumar, we are on the process of scaling up. As expected, our revenues are increasing, but our profits have come down drastically because of scaling up. All our profits are now moving towards operations and scaling up. Don't know, is this how scaling up happens? I'm part of the MBA program. Wanted to know about the process of getting investors. Well, Arun, if you're a part of the MBA program, you shouldn't be on this Facebook live chat. You should just message us on WhatsApp and we deal with it there. Okay, but having asked this question, here's what happens. There comes a stage in every business when we are in the journey of scaling up, is that we are spending money we don't have to scale. Okay, which is a very normal thing, which means the profit could have gone home, but now you're using that profit to kind of reinvest in the business, which is a very normal stage, as long as you have visibility of what you're expecting as a return from that investment that you're making. If you do not have that visibility and you're blindly spending, calling it scaling up, it's not scaling up. Now, if you're looking at getting investors on board, well, then you need to get your pitch deck ready. In terms of showing your investors what is the current value of your business, where are you headed right now, what can the money that you want do for the business, and what are you willing to give to the investor. So these are some questions you need to answer so that we can take you to that level, Arun. Okay. All right, Shikha says thanks. Ramakrishna Reddy, we are in struggle and survival stage, but truly are surviving monthly income, but there is a lot of growth in our business. The only thing we need to know is where are we failing. Okay, so let me give you the difference between struggle, survival and stability. If you're in struggle and survival, it means that all the functions in your business are not functioning consistently. Listen to this carefully, Ramakrishna Reddy. If you're in struggle and survival, it means all the functions are not functioning consistently. You're only doing either sales and operations and accounts, that's it. So if you want to move to stability and then move to success and scale, then you got to make sure that you have every function functioning, which means marketing, sales, operations, R&D, accounts, human resources, management. 7 functions need to function, and for making these 7 functions function, in each one of these 7 functions you need to have a specific strategy of how you do marketing, how you do sales, how you do operations, and the strategy has to be different from what everybody else in the market is doing. That's when it's a strategy. Okay, so you need to have a strategy, then you need to have a system to execute that strategy, and then you need to have a skilled team to make sure that they are running the function. So strategy, system, skill, team. These are the 3 things that need to be established in every function for you to move to stability and then success and scale. Okay, so that's what we need to look at, Ramakrishna Reddy, for you. Madhu says, hi Rajiv, scaling up to the next level. When should I start? How to evaluate? Well, you don't decide on a day to start to scale. You work on your business from day 1 to scale. Okay. So it's not like you say, let me make this much money and then I will change the business model. No, because the business model for scaling up is different from the business model for stability. Most entrepreneurs have a business model for stability, which means how can I make 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 3 lakh rupees a month? That is just income growth. I'm talking about wealth creation. When we're talking wealth creation, we're talking merger and acquisition, we're talking IPO, we're talking about geographical expansion, we're talking about product diversification, we're talking about all of these things. That's when the wealth is created. Okay, so Madhu, it starts the day you start. Piyush, what's the right time to get funding? It's 8:25 in my watch. I think it's the right time to get funding. Just kidding. But no, Piyush, it's a very, very, very subjective question that you've asked me. And in all honesty, I refrain from giving generic gyan to people because the context of people is very, very different. The time your business needs funding may be different from the time of somebody else watching this video. So I stay away from such questions. What would help is if you private message me your scenario of business and what exactly are you looking at with that funding, because sometimes it may not even be necessary for you to get funding. Okay, and I believe that funding has become like this overused and abused word today in the entrepreneurial ecosystem where everybody thinks chalo yaar paisa uthate hain. Okay, that's not how it works. Firstly, why do you need the fund? What will you do with that fund? And do you need somebody else's fund, or can you generate that fund from your business? These are questions to answer, Piyush. So I'm happy to answer it one-to-one for you. Rohan Kapoor. Hi Rajiv, for a startup in one sec. Okay. For a startup in event management, do I need to focus on marketing first or any other department? I have a track record in marketing. Well, Rohan, events is such a space, considering I come from the same industry, is that you need to get enough stories, success stories under your belt. So you got to keep marketing so that you keep picking up work, and you got to do the work so that you keep showing your value to people. So you have to market, sell and operate simultaneously, and that's why I say you can't be the only person doing all of these three things, because if you're the only person doing all these three things, you will not do all the three things. Okay, so it's not first marketing then any other department, it's simultaneous. That's how a business is built. Yeah. All right. Okay. Vishal says, I'm busy due to Diwali commitments, so I'm unable to attend your Kolkata seminar. Please advise when will be your next one in Kolkata. Vishal, message me offline. I'll give you the direct dates for my 3-day event. That's a paid event. Just sign up for that and come in if you're not able to make it to the free seminar on Sunday. All I will say, Vishal, is I'm coming to Kolkata. I'm coming all the way from Bangalore. You just need to travel within Kolkata. So just take those 3 hours out and just come in. It will make a lot of sense to you. Yes, Satish says, I have a software product, it's ready now. Do I need to concentrate 80% on sales and 20% on operation? Absolutely. If you're a tech company, you have a product ready, first make sure that somebody is buying that product. So sell. A lot of tech entrepreneurs love just building the product. And that's why they fail as entrepreneurs. They're great tech guys, they fail as entrepreneurs. So Satish, sell, sell, sell and sell. Sell till the entire world is using your product. Okay, keep doing that. Okay. Juliana, when am I coming to Southeast Asia region again? What's on the cards? I have Sri Lanka on the cards, Juliana, towards Southeast Asia. I think I should be doing Philippines and Malaysia sometime around May or June. I'm not yet sure of that, but that will be the date. But Juliana, you should visit India. We're a beautiful country. So you should come into India for one of my programs and events. Okay. Rohan says, I'm struggling to set up process in operations and sales. What is the right advice? Well, Rohan, if you are looking at setting up sales, firstly, as an event management company, be clear who is your customer. Because I'll tell you the big flaw a lot of people make in event management. They do any event. You do a birthday party, you do a housewarming ceremony, you do an annual day, you do a product launch event, you do a tech park activation. If you're doing everything for everybody, you are a nobody in the industry. So get clear about what is your strength, what do you love doing, what are the type of events you love doing. Position yourself in that market to that target customer and go out there and sell to that customer and build stories operationally in that. Now to set up the process in operations, well, I would say that your team needs to be a mix of freshers as well as experienced people. The mistake you can make is because of budgets, just go hire freshers. Freshers will take their own time and they will rely upon you to give your expertise. So have a mix of freshers as well as experienced people, Rohan. That's the fastest way to set up the right process. Otherwise, you are figuring it out yourself. Okay. All right. How to get a team and put a team? Bharat's question. Well, Bharat, how to get a team? Is your question how to hire? If your question is how to hire, well, friends and family recommendations, employee recommendations, LinkedIn, Naukri.com, Times Jobs Portal, recruitment agencies. These are the different ways for you to go out there and hire. But if you're talking about how to build a team, that's a topic in itself. So if you can ask me a specific question on that, then I'd be happy to answer that, Bharat. All right, so guys, it's time to go. It's 8:30 in my watch. And I think we should say goodbye to each other so we spend enough time this festive season with our families. I hope this Facebook Live was useful for you. If you find this useful, keep coming back. Every 2 weeks we do a Facebook Live to answer as many questions. And share the recording of this Facebook Live with your friends so that they get access. Okay, Manish's question. This is a very tempting question, Manish, so I'm going to answer it for you before I leave. Experienced team members don't prefer to prefer the startup to join. Manish, in all honesty, there are two things that I say to business owners when they ask me this question, that you know what, experienced guys want to go join bigger brands, they don't want to join startups or smaller organizations. In all honesty, times are changing, Manish. Today a lot of people want quality of work, and they understand that quality of work is available with a smaller organization rather than a larger brand. Most talented people today are moving towards smaller organizations and startups rather than joining larger brands, because the perspective is changing, where people realize that in a smaller organization they'll get they'll get a higher responsibility, higher learning curve, higher growth curve as well. So that era is going. So the only thing you need to do is let go thinking that, you know what, people may not join because we are small. In fact, you should not hire people who come in and tell you, but you're a smaller organization. In fact, those are the kind of people who are with the typical job mentality. They're good in a large organization where they can get away with politics and getting a decent income for themselves. We as small and medium business owners need contributors, and contributors want quality of work, and people who want quality of work are naturally attracted to smaller organizations. So you got to be proud in your next interview, where you got to tell the candidate that, hey, you know what, we don't want people who are thinking about working in a large organization, because in a large organization they'll play a small role. We need people who are willing to work in a small organizations like ours and play a large role. When you start becoming proud of that as an entrepreneur, Manish, you will see talent coming to your organization. It starts from here, my friend. So with that, guys, this is me, Rajiv Talreja, signing off with a Facebook live chat. Again, wish you all a very, very, very happy Diwali. May God bless you with whatever you wish for. May you have a great year with your family. May prosperity be at your doorstep and inside your doors, in your wardrobes, in your tijoris. Okay, have a blessed year ahead. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to connect with people as much as possible through the next Facebook chat. So come back on the next Facebook Live 2 weeks from now. We'll be publishing the date, and share this video with your friends. I want to make sure that as many entrepreneurs benefit from the information that we are putting out. So the only support I want from each and every one of you is to make sure that this is shared once we put it out. See you guys. Thank you so much. See you, Clara. Bye-bye. Thank you.